I just remember having so much fun playing in the streets. Everything was safe. You know, there was not that many fights. We would hear about fights in other neighborhoods, but Frankford was always safe, and you know, and there was all different types of families. I remember growing up, I had a white girlfriend. I never even knew she was white, but I told my mother that somebody said, "Oh my God," she said, one of the guys who kind of beat me up one day, and I wrestled him down and was on top of him, and then he got up and he said, "Ew, you're playing with that white girl." I had no idea, you know, but that's how it was. My mother never raised us to think that way, but you know, so it was just good memories. I think that it's still really nice and beautiful here. There's a lot of good people here. I just have such great memories of, you know, a great childhood, growing up and just having so much fun. I come from a very large family. We lived on the block, and you know that saying, it takes a village to raise, you know, and that's what we had. And Miss Craftsbury across the street, who just watched everything we did, the lady up the street, and my mother, who fed everybody, not just us, she fed everybody in the neighborhood. We were the house to be, you know, to come to. And so as we got older, my mother, she was a housekeeper, and she started this water ice thing. As we got older, each person in our family had a job to do. And when we got about eight or nine, we had to set up the water ice stand my mother started. And to this day, the water ice stand was so big back then, we didn't realize it. But to this day, all the older folks who come up to now that grew up with us, it's like major. I mean, they used to call us the Leaksies, the family Leaksies, you know. I would love to see something that's whimsical, kids playing, trees, birds, butterflies. I mean, that's what I picture in my mind when I think about Frankfurt, you know. Just a happy place, you know. I love anything that's just bright and colorful and whimsical, because that's how I feel when I think about with my experience here. I think that kids have lost that childhood that I grew up with, because all we did was play outside. You know, we played outside. We didn't have, you know, the video games to sit in front of the TV. We had to be outside and, you know, doing what most kids don't do nowadays, playing and jumping rope and, you know, having fun, getting in fights and, you know, doing silly things, you know, that I think the kids are missing nowadays. I think if you get the people involved in Frankfurt, maybe there won't be as much crime. You know, but a lot of guys are standing around doing nothing, hanging on the corners, and, you know, it needs to be more of interaction with, you know, I don't know what kind of agencies are out there to get these people and kids involved. And the Boys Club, which we grew up in, that was a great place to be. I mean, we practically lived in the Boys Club, and it kept us out of trouble. If they had things like that, I think it would be, maybe that would help in some way. The Boys Club was on Kinsey Street in Frankfurt. Yeah, and it was a big, huge place you would go in. They had all kind of snacks for you. The gyms were downstairs, all the basketball courts. My brothers would play on that and then they had game rooms. They had all kind of interesting trips that we went on. I do business in Frankfurt. For one reason, I have established great relationships with vendors and local businesses, and I use local products. And you know, when I need vegetables, I go to the local people. I no longer go outside of my community for that. I stay here in Frankfurt, and you know, I get a lot of quality things here still to this day in Frankfurt. And it's also good to, you know, stay within the community and bring the money here. Frankfurt is a wonderful community. It's a lot of beautiful people here, hardworking people. You know, people who love their families, peaceful people, and whatever that perception is. If you come here to Frankfurt, you'll see it for yourself. Walk through the streets, talk to the people. The community is beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful people here. And also look up and look at the architecture in Frankfurt. It's a beautiful place. You know, it's interesting houses to look at. I find myself when I'm walking just, you know, mesmerized with some of the beauty here, because I think that's always overlooked, you know, in communities. So I think it's important to do that. Come through and check it out for yourself. Frankfurt is one word. Frankfurt is, the only word I can think of is love. Frankford is love.